Before I begin, I just want to say I might close my eyes during the listening time because that helps me focus. I'm not dead, I'm listening, I'm listening. Uh, Oi! Not to be Dora, but on the count of three, can all of y'all just say that? 1, 2, 3. All right. Now, in Sri Lanka, what you just said was very, 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 very offensive. But lucky for you, the way you said it, it wasn't really. You see, the funny thing about this word that shocks me the most is the fact that it's the way you say it that matters. Because really, the word oi itself does not have a meaning. Lucky for you today, the way you said it did not offend anybody. A very good day to the honorable panel of judges and all of you listeners. This word always, shocked me because it really mattered how you said it, the energy you put in, the emphasis you made. If you just said, oi, 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 you'd probably be happy. If you said, oi, the way I started, it would mean anger. If you said, oi, it would probably mean sadness. And this made me realize, this word is very, very, very similar to you and me. Of course, considering the countless possibilities our lives can go. But today I'm not here to talk about where you'll get to or your desire, your ambition. Today, I'm here to help you find out how to reach the top level in whatever you choose to do. And I needed not look too far. Myself, I am also very interested in science, and one of the favorite elements of most scientists is the element we call carbon. The very interesting thing about carbon is that carbon has 3 different isomorphs: graphite, coal, and diamond. This is beautiful because all of them derive from the same carbon atom. And yet, based on the different pressures, the different temperatures it goes through, it produces completely different compounds. You and I, ladies and gentlemen, I believe we are no different. The pressure, the burden, the heat we're ready to go through can determine the level we reach. I remember my first literature examination. My God, I hated it. Not because of anything, I just didn't like reading. And I remember the first mark I got was 30 out of 100. And I looked at my teacher, I said, it doesn't even matter, because I don't really need this, right? This is not close to my heart. And yet, my teacher said something that was life-changing. She said, Sashane, you can't do it. That's right. She said, you can't do it. Knowing I was young and had a little bit of ego, that really worked. So every day, I remember, I used to write answers day in and day out. I used to give like 5 to her every morning. Some of them, to date, aren't marked. And yet, eventually, I ended up getting 3rd in the world for my finals examination. The shocking thing about that is, I still don't like reading. And yet, because I was ready to push myself through some pressure, some heat, some pain, I reached the top level. Now, the reason I said that is because it doesn't matter where you apply it. This can be in your ambition, this can be in your desires, but sometimes your start point, if you just go through some pressure, might not be your end point. Oh, I remember one day my first boxing lesson. Now, yes, I am a boxer. I know I don't look like it, but trust me, take my word for it. I saw a guy taking a hammer and hitting his own stomach. I was like, are you mad? This guy needs therapy. And my coach said, the reason why he's doing it, so that in the ring, he can bear more pain. And it clicked me. In boxing, the victory is not only determined by how well you can fight, but also the amount of pain you can go through. I'm sure you have heard of the beautiful statement, no pain, no gain. But ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you and may I submit, more pain, more gain. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, folks. Thank you very much,
Thank
Sashane.
you.
Okay, have we got any questions from the floor? There's a hand immediately, right here.
Hi, I don't know if you hear me. Yeah? Okay. I love your speech.
Thank
I just
you.
have a little question.
Yes.
You say more pain, more gain.
Mhm.
When is there a time where it's too much pain and you actually are not going forward but going backwards?
Yeah, yeah. That's a brilliant question, and I'm so glad somebody asked that. I was waiting to say this. You know, there's a beautiful saying, you must walk through the fire, but the fire must not burn you. Maybe I didn't say it right, but I really hope that most of you have heard of it. You know, yes, there is a point which I like to call the tipping point, where you have to say, okay, this is where I take a step back. But at the same time, that shouldn't stop you, because I know that a lot of people say, you know, if it's too difficult, don't pressure yourself. But I'm presenting to you, you must pressure yourself sometimes, because diamonds are created under the highest pressures and the highest temperatures. Yet, you have to understand that you must not allow the fire to burn you. So there is a tipping point, in which case, what I would propose is, there are decisions you need to make. There are certain things you have to say no to, right? Now, for example, in literature, if I realize that this literature thing is killing me, I would have probably dropped it. However, I realize that this is a pressure I need to be able to handle. But at the same time, the flip side is, we have, as a younger generation, we need to be very strong. We need to be resilient. There are big challenges. You know, we shouldn't be consumed by it. So, yes, one side of it, yes, there is a point we need to say no, but after we say no, we shouldn't close the book and go back to sleep. No, we need to try to build that resilience, because this world is going to test you so much, just like my literature paper. Thank you. I hope I answered your question.
Thank you. I saw another hand
Okay.
immediately over there.
Thank you. That was really good. I really enjoyed it. Your presence is amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
You mentioned that first you had 30 out of 100, and then you were third in the whole
Yeah,
world.
yeah.
What was that journey like? And if it one piece of advice you would like to give younger people, what would that be?
For literature?
Of anything, yeah. Which magic wand did you wave?
Oh, yeah, okay. I think I love this journey, because still, like I said, I do not like to read, right? But one interesting thing is that find a purpose. You know, if you can find a purpose, even if you don't like it, if you can find a purpose, sometimes it'll fare you well. Because what was my purpose? To prove my teacher wrong, right? And I took, as a young boy, that was very serious to me. If you hurt my ego, man, you are going to meet me. So I think one piece of advice is, find a purpose that forgoes your pain, because sometimes it's painful. You know, as she said, some things are really, really difficult to carry. But if you can, just like a doctor said, you can't, I think it was Eddie Hall, who wanted to carry 500 kilograms, a deadlift 500 kilograms, and a doctor said this is not possible. But he said, if you think about your family, if you think about something that is close to your heart, you can carry the 500 kilograms. And I think he did. He did carry that 500 kilograms, right? So it was really that purpose in his head, that thought that pushed him. Neurologically, this is true. If you have a purpose for something, your body will somehow make it happen. So I think my main advice would be, find a purpose. Maybe find someone who is always challenging your ego, if you're a guy like me. But otherwise, find a purpose which will forgo the pain and the challenge.
We do have time for one final question. There's a hand right there.
Thank you so much for the riveting speech. Now, have you found your purpose?
When I say purpose, do you mean in the context of the question that was asked previously, or do you mean just my purpose in
Exactly.
life?
Your
Oh, my
purpose in
purpose in
life.
life. Well, I wouldn't really say so. I think that's because, I'm 17. I haven't even lived, I think, 1/3 of my life. I think it would be too soon to say I have found my purpose. But I think that is why I said I'm not here to help you find your purpose. Today, I'm here to tell you, in whatever you have decided to do, whether it is your actual purpose or whether it is what you're trying to do temporarily, how can you go to the highest level of it? That's why I use the example of literature, because I hope it is not my purpose. I really do. Because it wasn't something that was close to my heart. It probably won't be my purpose and ambition either. But yet, because I was ready to go through that pressure, I excelled it in. So I think I'm not sure exactly what my purpose is currently, but time will tell. Time will tell. It's too soon. I hope I answered your question. Thank you.